energy savings by taking the braking energy that you're able to use and channeling it back into batteries, where you can then recapture that through an electric motor in the hybrid power system. And this really works well for refuse trucks, it works well for medium trucks, and it works well for city buses. And Volvo makes a lot of each of those products within its overall sphere of product availability. But unfortunately, nothing that we sell in North America. So we wanted to bring it over here for a couple of reasons. It's a truck that Volvo made to help demonstrate this. And let me share that when it was being built in the engineering lab by engineering groups that were challenged to do this, and everybody would get interested, that engineers from other departments would get interested. Come over, what's going on here? It was a way to involve our entire employee design team in the concept. Everybody then had to ask, what can hybrid do? What are the benefits of the hybrid? So it was a fun thing to build. We built it in 2010, and we made it basically from spare parts laid around the engineering lab, starting with a VN cab that was left over from a safety test in an undamaged state. Inside under the cab there is a D16 engine that's based on a production engine, but it's producing 1900 horsepower, so I think you could say it's been highly modified. There's a Volvo I-Shift behind that. And that I-Shift is really a production I-Shift. And behind that is the heart of the hybrid. There's an electric motor and a hybrid battery system that's in our hybrid product today that we've sold. And it produces as much as 200 horsepower and a lot of torque. Of course, one neat thing about an electric motor is that it can make torque at stall. Think of an electric drill. Hold the chuck and pull the trigger, you know, it makes torque, and you can't do that with a diesel. And then the rear axle back here is 1.85 to 1. A little bit of tweaking to get that ratio. Here you see how the two types of power supply help each other. The bottom curve here is what's available from a diesel, and the diesel doesn't make torque until it really starts revving well. And then this flat line here is the hybrid output electric motor. It starts out with a constant torque and then fades down. And when you add the two together, it means Boya can come off the line in 8th gear, doesn't even use the first 7 gears, at full throttle, smoking the tires, get the boost that he needs with the electric motor, and it has a pretty good launch, and that's a way to use that hybrid technology. Well, it's not all that different from what it's used in real life. If you go to London, you may well ride in one of their famous double-decker buses, and a lot of those buses today are powered by the Volvo hybrid technology that we're using in this truck, with a smaller engine, of course, but using the I-Shift transmission, using our iSync technology with the same basic electric motor. And I haven't been to London, but I'm told it's transformed downtown. That when the bus comes up, it's quiet. You get on and it's peaceful, friendly, and it whisks your way up until about 30 kilometers when the engine cuts in and then takes over from there. And then, of course, when the bus brakes, that energy can be channeled back in, so you can see that we save as high as 37% diesel fuel. Well, that's great, but we're also saving the CO2 that diesel fuel represents. And yes, when Boya is coming to the end of his land speed record attempt, he's not using a parachute, he's using his brakes, and that's putting his energy back into the batteries. All right?